Hi, it's Shannon. This is the last video before we start the 30-day New You Challenge tomorrow. And today we're talking about the two different cycles that your body can be on. So we'll start with the fat storing cycle. And this is a cycle that you're on if you're continuously putting on weight and you find it really hard to stick to a diet. These cycles not only are about your body, they're about your mind and your emotions as well, which is what we spoke about in yesterday's video. So it starts with having fat, and mainly belly fat to start off with. Having fat actually increases the fat storing hormones. These are the ones that we spoke about. When your fat storing hormones are high, it actually decreases the fat burning hormones and doesn't allow the fat burning hormones to be produced. Having this combination equals a really slow and fat gaining metabolism. Even if you do everything you can to increase the fat burning hormones, if your fat storing hormones are producing at high levels, then the fat burning hormones are going to be cancelled out. So basically this means more fat creation. And when you're in this cycle, you are always craving sugar, carbs, and fatty foods. You'll have absolutely no energy and you will always be tired. So the motivation to go to the gym is basically zero. The foods that you eat in this cycle and the way that your fat storing hormones are high actually makes you age quicker. This also leads to being depressed and having a lack of motivation, which is why it's really hard to get onto a diet and stick to a diet. And when you're depressed, it's actually making you reach for certain types of foods. Your food associations are really low, and your food associations make you eat bad foods. This gives you a low self-esteem and it increases your risk of diabetes and heart conditions and other illnesses. And then you come back to the start, and all of this means that you put on more fat, and the more fat you put on, the cycle starts again. So you can see why it's really important to get off this cycle, and I hope you can see why it's really difficult to get off this cycle. What we want to do is move from the fat storing cycle to the fat burning cycle. Once you just start to lose a little bit of fat in the correct way, this isn't losing muscle by cutting calories or losing water weight. When you start to actually lose fat and belly fat, you start to decrease the fat storing hormones, and starting to decrease the fat storing hormones will actually help you lose weight. It's a bit like the chicken and the egg, which one comes first? When you decrease the fat storing hormones, then you can start really increasing the fat burning hormones, and this will lead to a really fast fat burning metabolism. And it's like a snowball. As you start to go along, this snowball gets bigger and bigger and your metabolism gets stronger and faster, and this obviously leads to more fat loss. So you really want to get on this body cycle. When you're on this cycle and you've decreased the fat storing hormones, you stop craving sugar, carbs, and fatty foods, because the fat storing hormones that actually have you reaching and craving those sugars and carbs, you've decreased them, so you get out of that cycle. This means you have so much energy. You start building muscle with the right exercise. Muscle is a really expensive, and what I mean by that, it takes a lot of work to maintain muscle. So you use more calories just in your resting day, so when you're sleeping. So this means more fat loss. You start to reverse and slow down aging and all of the other health risks. You'll find you have endless drive and motivation. You'll be on a cycle where you'll be drawn to exercise, you'll be drawn to eat really healthy because you're feeling so good. You'll reprogram your mind to have different food associations, which will stop you eating bad foods, not make you grab bad foods. And you'll start increasing your self-esteem, and the weight loss will help you increase your self-esteem as well. And then we start the cycle again. You're losing more fat, you're decreasing your fat storing hormones, you're starting to feel better about yourself, and again, this is a great cycle to be on. I hope you realize that with these cycles, it starts slowly and then it gains momentum and it gets bigger and it gets easier and easier as time goes on. So they're the two cycles. We're going to be moving from the fat storing cycle to the fat burning cycle, and you're going to feel great, you're going to look great, everything will become so much easier. The thing to note is it can be really difficult to start these programs. It can be a little bit slower than these ridiculous fast weight loss that you just can't maintain. You can get some really fast results, but you're programming your body to put on more weight when you start eating normally again. And you're doing nothing to reprogram your mind and emotions, so it's easy to stay on it. So we are going to try a completely different approach, and we are going to have so much success, and you are going to feel so great. So I look forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow is the day that we start the 30-day New You Challenge. If you haven't already joined up, go to Facebook.com/Every Girl's Guide to Health and join up, and there's an amazing community of women, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for our first day.